Hey guys, it's Julian here, and today I'm super excited to be showing you how to make burial style, cool, like future garage vocal chops with your own voice. So here's what we're going to be making. So I have these two little musical things. I'll just show you really quick, just like this little strings thing. And then a respace. Pretty straightforward. But like I said, this video is all about vocal chops. So the way that I made these vocal chops here, and the way that you can make these, is basically I just sung some random stuff into my microphone. If I play this with no effects, you will definitely be able to hear that. That one's stretched out and pitched, so that's why it sounds so weird. But yeah, you can hear it's just me singing like some kind of weird melodic things, I guess, that I heard over top of this. And then what you do to kind of get this effect is it's a few things. The first main thing here is this G snap. So what G snap is it's actually a free sort of like auto-tuning VST. And basically, I'm going to have it in the description below so you can go and check it out. But basically, what it does is exactly what you would think. It does like an auto-tuning kind of effect. And this is really crucial because as you can hear, I'm not really the best singer. But you can hear when I turn this on. There we go, it fixes it. And the reason why I'm using this here is not even so much to fix it, but really to more like end up with like happy sort of accidents. Like with this part here, for example, I'll play you the original file. It sounds like this. Here, I'll show you without the auto-tune. Like, I was really just singing kind of like random stuff. And then the idea here is that you sing this kind of, I mean, I don't want to say it's completely random, but it's like, I didn't have it premeditated. Like, I didn't write something down. I just kind of came up with something. And so that's kind of the goal here is like, you sort of want to come up with these little melodies on the fly while you're hearing whatever you're recording over. And then you use G-Snap to sort of end up with like these cool kind of happy accidents. Like here, for example. Like that little melody. I mean, it's simple, but again, I didn't have any idea it would end up like that when I was recording it. And that's the goal here, is really, I think, like too often, and it isn't just with these, like, specific future garage burial vocal chops, it's with a lot of things in music production. Too often, we think that the things that are, like, the coolest are things that are, like, sort of premeditated, or somehow, like, the artist or the producer arrived at that really cool sound by trying to get it, but that's not always the case. So here is a really good example. Like, I was just going for sort of happy accidents with the auto-tune. And so that's kind of what you do. And I'll show you some settings as well, because I know it can be kind of confusing sometimes working with this plugin and working with auto-tune in general. But basically, the key here is you just set it to the key of your track. Like with this select the scale, I set it to D minor. That's what key the strings are in. You can see first chord there is D minor. And then, then after that, it's just all about, like, the way you set these things. So I have the threshold set like that. I've got the amount at 100%. And also an important thing is this attack and release. I just turn these all the way down to get that, like, really auto-tuned kind of effect. If we turn them up, you can hear. It's not doing it a whole lot, but when we turn them down, that's how you get, like, just the proper kind of, like, quick auto-tune. You can see it comes up there as well, like that note jump there. So that's kind of it with that one. Like I said, the auto-tune, very important for the sound. And then the next thing that I have on here is an auto filter. And I'm just using this for a little bandpass. You can see I have it set like this. But you can hear what's happening is it's kind of like cleaning it up a bit. Because truth be told, if you just record yourself going into your microphone, it might sound kind of messy. Especially in this case where I kind of like turn up the audio file. And then you can see I have this utility here as well to kind of boost the gain. Yeah, sometimes it can have some weird stuff, and sometimes also, like, you may just want to give it kind of like a weird, sort of more like, I mean, the way I like to think of it is sort of like ethereal sound, like with these kind of bandpass filtered vocals. Basically, it just kind of cleans it up, makes it sound more like sampled and kind of lo-fi. And yeah, I really like it for these kind of effects. So that's the next thing there, and again, this just kind of goes with more like obscuring the sound and making it a little bit less obvious that it's your voice, because it can be kind of obvious. Like if I just had this reverb and the auto-tune, you would I mean, that's very loud as well, but you would kind of know that was my voice if you had heard me before. But when I add this to it, you know, it kind of obscures it some more. It gives it that kind of like cold, like I said, like ethereal sort of sound. So then the last thing that I have on there to get this sound is the reverb. And the reverb is very important. It's doing multiple things. For one, it's making it more spacey and more sort of reverbed, but more kind of like, yeah, just more ambient and more like wide sounding. But it's also obscuring it some more, because what happens is when you put stuff through reverb like this and you just really, I guess, blast it the way I did with the very high wet amount and the very high or very long decay time. Yeah, it obscures it some more, and you can hear like with those really cold, sort of like fast digital pitch changes in the voice that are being caused by the autotune, we get some cool things with the reverb when you hear those notes sort of like overlapping each other, especially if I even turn up the decay time some more. So I think this is really crucial for the sound. Like if you just listen to that reverb, like those notes overlapping each other, it's kind of like a big part of it. Like that's part of what gives it that really cool sound, is because you're hearing those notes overlapping each other and they still work, like they still sound good together. You can hear it over the music. They're not like clashing notes, but those two notes kind of, or even if you have more notes playing that sort of get reverbed out, and those notes playing over each other and overlapping, it's creating some kind of like background for your music. Like it's sort of providing ear candy. Like, you know, it would be similar to like if you had just a layer that was like just a drone, or just like, you know, something like an art playing in the background or something like that. It's like something that plays in the background of your track that just kind of keeps going throughout the track, and again, it gives it like ear candy. It gives it dimension. It makes it more than just like some programmed strings and bass and then just like the simple vocal sample. You get, like I said, like kind of ear candy from this. So definitely a pretty important thing there with the reverb. And if you want to, you can even add like some delay. Like that can have good results for like obscuring it. Maybe if I set it to like quarter notes and do like something like this. Yeah, you can hear that's making it ring out even more. Maybe we could play around with like some echo as well for that kind of texture. Yeah, it sounds pretty cool. So you can see like the spacey effects are pretty important here. And really, the main thing I'm trying to show you here is it's not too difficult to do these on your own. Like I said, you know, you can really just take these and just record yourself singing some really simple melodic stuff. And with a free plugin and a bunch of plugins or a bunch of effects you already have in Ableton, you can really make these vocal chops. Like I know they can seem kind of hard to attain and hard to just kind of get that sound, but it's really not that difficult. Like I said, you know, you really just kind of have to get creative with it. And a lot of it goes into the music that's playing in the background as well. Like I said, like with these things, like I didn't exactly skimp out with these strings. Like they're still pretty full sounding and pretty like deep. Like they have the burial vibe as well. And then the vocals just kind of sit on top of that. So that's pretty much it for this one. I just wanted to show you guys some techniques and hopefully demystify the burial vocals as well a little bit, because I know they can be just a little bit weird to understand when you first start hearing them. But again, not that difficult. You can do them this way with your own voice and get something really cool that works really well. So that's going to be it for today, guys. Make sure to let me know what you think of this video in the comments, and make sure to like this video as well as subscribe. You can check out all my sample packs on my social media in the description. You can also get G-Snap for free in the description. Make sure to check that out. Thank you again, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow with another tutorial.